I didn't want to come home sometimes after work. I would stay working till 9, 10 o'clock just to avoid the arguments. Going through my divorce and having to do this alone has taught me my resilience as well and how powerful I really, really am.
How much years has it been?
2 years.
2 already?
Yeah.
My mom's happier than ever now. She's like really happy, and I'm really thankful for that because I love to see my mom happy.
I feel like it's a lot more calmer in the house.
It was bad when cause my dad, he would sleep here, there'd be a couch here. He wouldn't even come upstairs for the entire day basically.
It was a lot of arguments. I didn't want the kids to be around that anymore. I just felt that after everything they've been through, why would I bring them into a home that's the way it was going to be? And I was miserable. I was miserable. I really was. I didn't want to come home sometimes after work. I would stay working till 9, 10 o'clock just to avoid the arguments.
There's lots of heat in the air and it just stinks.
I thought to myself, I'm missing out on my children's life. I was packing up and I looked around in my office and I said to myself, I don't want this life. I think the major issue with the divorce was our parenting style. I would tell him, there's no need to scream. You could sit them down, you could talk to them. And don't get me wrong, I lose it sometimes, I do. But whenever it has to be with talking and them making a mistake, and you could tell them, I will sit them down, I speak to them. I know, it's a totally different parenting style that I have than he does.
I still visit my dad. We go over there for the weekends. So it's good.
We both really love football, so it's I'm always making fun of the Jets because I'm a Giants fan. Barrio is on the Jets, and that's one of his favorite players because that's his last name. That's my last name too.
He's here in Linden. He actually got an apartment here in Linden, so he's not far from the boys. But it's a different relationship with him and the boys as well when the boys go over there than when it was when they were here. There is no him having to discipline because he's the fun parent now, which is fine with me, and I'm okay with that because I wanted the boys to have him in his life no matter what.
I've gotten into men's work, just talking to men that are willing to go vulnerable with our feelings and how we feel. I went out to California into Death Valley, and we went out there for a vision quest, and we ended up fasting in Death Valley for 4 days and 4 nights. So the first night I was there, I asked God to protect me. I don't know if there's a God out there, but I know that there's a higher power somewhere. I didn't have a tent, so I just had a tarp and a sleeping bag. While I'm setting this up, there are 2 ravens that are watching me out of nowhere. I just look at them and I just feel judged. I'm oh, they're probably looking at me oh, this guy isn't doing well. What is this guy doing? Right after I set up that tarp, I filled up my little air mattress, and right after that I went on it and I knocked out. I actually woke up, and then I turned around on top of the mountain, and the 2 ravens are still there. Me seeing that, I really appreciated the protection he had over me, which is insane. And being able to be face to face with another man and tell them where you are at life and just being vulnerable. Growing up, my father really wasn't there. So me having to trust other men is difficult. And it's beautiful community behind it. I've seen a lot of just emotional damage from my parents. It was horrible to see where they were and them really not understanding their own emotions and why they feel the way that they do. Understanding why people do the things that they do. There's something that I really like is relationships. That's one thing that I want to look into more. Just seeing relationships growing up, understanding why they were, they weren't at their best, and just understanding why, what where did they come from, what happened in their life for them to be showing up like that in the relationship. My birth mother, she went through a lot. Like her mom and her dad, they were there, but my grandmother, she has autism, and like it's pretty severe. And my grandfather, he was mute and he was deaf. Them growing up, I could just imagine like the emotional trauma that they had went through, and like to see how difficult that was to grow up with parents that couldn't talk to you. It's like a domino effect to where you are at your life.
Getting something in place where you could get in contact with the biological, aunts, uncles, whoever it is, even older children, so that people can see what's really going on. Because if you think about it, once you're a drug addict, you're hiding this from your family. Your family, they don't really know what's going on. And by the time they notice, it's probably too late down the line.
And I've been talking to my aunts more. Just saw my grandma from Turkey. So it was really nice seeing her. She came in and she was like, oh my God. My grandma, she's just different. She has a lot of love for like all of us. My aunts do as well. They've been there, they're kind of there for Jesus, like a lot. They're the ones that are taking care, just looking after Jesus, because Jesus wasn't able to have like, that growing up. So it's hard. So, growing up in not such a good neighborhood, but he's doing well for himself. So he's working. He has his own apartment. He's nearby by us, so he's like 10 minutes away. But he's doing pretty well. Like, I'm really proud of him for, doing that.
I have 5 siblings. I have 4 sisters and 1 brother. We've always been a huge family. I've always had a great relationship with my mom. Not so great with my father, but my mother has always been in my life. My brother and I have a very good relationship as well. So I've never not had the help if I really wanted to. Like I said, I'm the one that really doesn't go out there and ask, but I feel that even with my sisters, if I ever knock on their door and say, hey, I need your help with this, they would be there. Between my mom, my, daughters, and my nephew's fiance, who they actually bought a house around the corner from me, if it wasn't for them, I don't know what the hell I would do. Even now, I hurt my leg, and my niece, my nephew's fiance, which I call my niece, she's the one that picks me up and drives me to work now because she works with me. So I can't even drive right now. So it's just the support that I've had from a very small amount of people that has made this even possible. I know that I work a lot still, but I just feel that I've managed my time better. I don't work on the weekends anymore. So when I have them, we're together. We do a lot together. I know people are going to say this as I watch the videos and all the comments, oh, the state helps. Yeah, the state helps. But when you have $700-800 worth of grocery a week, that's just how far the state, money comes in. So
my grandma kind of lives here now because she's cooking for us. She's sleeping in the guest room upstairs. She's nice.
For my birthday, Grandma gave me $20.
She cooks, she helps me cook, because I don't get home till 6, 7 o'clock sometimes. So it's a blessing. It's a blessing from God, I say, because she's in her 70s and she's young, but she's in great health. She never got sick, and that help alone it's a blessing for me. It really is.
A great cook.
What is your favorite thing that she cooks?
Rice and beans.
I have, 25 nieces and nephews right now. Some of them are in their 30s. So, my niece who owns a barbershop in Clark, actually, Aiden works with her some Fridays and Saturdays. And, she pays him and he helps her with the barbershop.
I just sweep and make hot towels, and I clean out the comb cleaners and the barber side, so that's cool.
I've been blessed to have people that I could really count on now, especially at this point in my life. So there's been a lot of changes and growth. I'm a control freak. Everybody knows that about me. I've really learned or am learning to let go of that control of always being on top of them and, trying for them to do things right. I mean, with the ice cream and the cookies, I mean, I get them healthy snacks, I do, but, sometimes they're like, oh, can I have ice cream? And it's like, man, before you'd be like, no. Now I'm like, you know what, eat your ice cream. You're gonna get a stomachache. I'm telling you, you're gonna get a stomach. You wanna eat your ice cream? Eat the ice cream. It's like, I went away for my 50th birthday. My oldest daughter got me, we went to Costa Rica. She bought me a trip to Costa Rica. My mother was here with them. And of course, they were acting like children. And one of them broke my couch and they called me and I'm like, all right, the couch is broken. Like, well, what am I gonna do? Which my daughter looked at me, she was like, wow, you took that very easily. I'm like, what am I supposed to do? At this point, it is what it is. Somebody cracked my granite. I walked in, there was a crack in my granite. I'm like, all right, the granite is cracked. Like, all right, keep it moving. At this point, that's how I feel now. I don't really stress the little things as I used to. I've learned to let them be children. My ex-husband moved out in March, so it was right when the pandemic started.
When COVID started, I didn't really know what was going on. I thought we were just gonna have a two-week break from school. I was kind of happy for it, but then.
2 of the boys actually tested positive. I ended up in the hospital with pneumonia, but I tested negative. I was really, really sick. I was in bed. It was bad.
I had to sleep with a Xavier. And he snores a lot.
Last Christmas.
And when I just woke up, I couldn't even go back to sleep.
I was sick on last Christmas.
So I just woke up.
And Christmas Eve through New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. I felt bad. I had to open my dead presents inside my own room.
It was so weird. Online school was better.
Yeah.
In so many ways. I didn't have to get up that early.
I ended up going online for the entire 7th grade. It was just boring. Just to look at a screen all day. My head kind of hurt after school too.
The whole pandemic, the schooling, it was so stressful. And everything was up in the air. We didn't know what was gonna happen. I still worked full time throughout the entire pandemic. I had to, there was no choice. And thank God, my job was there. The boys were home. Then we started homeschooling, which was a huge challenge for me. Getting into that rhythm every single day was a mess. At the beginning, I have to say my oldest daughter and her fiance moved in and they helped tremendously because it was insane. We had the schedule, all the boys, the iPads, it was insane, and the connection and the Wi-Fi and this dropping.
Having so many people in one house, it's kind of it's just, I'm not saying they're annoying, but sometimes it can be kind of annoying.
We acquired Max as well, my new golden retriever / lab, during the pandemic.
Max helped me because he's such a really good dog. He's cute, he's nice to pet. I think he helped me go through COVID.
But we survived. They all passed. Thank God. Everybody passed. Everybody did very, very well.
I have music stuff. I listen to Weezer actually, is what got me on the music. I listened to one Weezer song. I think it was My Name is Jonas. That was the first song I ever listened to by them. I was hooked. I started listening to music nonstop by them. Pull out my playlist, every song I've ever liked. I just add a song to that playlist as 53 hours. I don't know, I just like it. I just think it's neat how they make sounds by different chords, so yeah.
It's really cool to know that a lot of people seen my backstory. It's kind of hard for me to explain my backstory. I don't really remember it, so it's nice to have the video there so I can just send it to them, and then they can just know what happened to me and my family and stuff. It's just I'm okay with talking about it. I don't really mind. I like talking about it. I think it's really cool, and that's not cool, but it's cool that I got adopted and stuff.
Knowing that, in the beginning I was oh my God, do I really want to do this? I'm 50 now. It's I'm 45, I should be traveling, my daughters are older, what am I doing? But I would do it all over again if I had to. I would.
I had a beautiful moment in the I'll keep to myself, but it's like in Death Valley, like I had a moment with my mother, and like it was beautiful to just like feel her presence, and it really showed me like where she really is, and understand that, you know, nobody's perfect.